Hi guys. So I hope you can hear me okay. I did do a little test and I think the volume should be okay. So you've probably seen my camera set up previously, but I'm sitting down at the moment and my camera is a little bit high up and I actually can't see the screen. So I hope I stay on camera. And usually I film standing up so that I can see to make sure I'm in frame. But since I'll be painting this today, I need to be sitting down. I kind of can't stand up. I think my desk is too low. Anyway, especially because, okay, this sounds weird, but I paint with left and right hand. So I'm actually right-handed, but I think I was born left-handed. I used my left hand until I was about 8 years old, 7 or 8 years old. But the school I went to, I had a few strict teachers, and back in those days, this is when we used to still get the cane. Back in those days, at that strict school, well, the school wasn't strict. It depended what teachers you got. And I think I was unlucky enough to get a few strict teachers. But they would rap you on the knuckles with a wooden ruler if you wrote left-handed. And and they'd force you to write right-handed. So in years, I think it was year 3 or 4, I don't know, or 7 or 8. And yeah, so I had to learn how to write right-handed. And there was a period of 2 or 3 years where I wrote with both hands, but I am, I suppose, officially right-handed now, but some stuff I still kind of do left-handed. Anyway, I don't know why you need to know that, but I just thought you might think it's weird if you see me hold a brush or a pen in both hands. Anyway, so I'm sitting down so I can't see my camera. And also, I'm very uncomfortable doing this on camera because I'm not a painter as such or anything. I do like to paint stuff, but it's usually something I do myself alone with nobody watching because I mean, if you're what I call a real artist, you're probably going to be cringing and saying, oh, what is she doing with that? But anyway, I'm very uncomfortable doing this on camera, but I'll put myself out there. I suppose if it's so bad, I don't have to post the video. It'll never see the light of day. But I suppose, you know, getting on YouTube is about putting yourself out there and going into that, you know, breaking that, you know, uncomfortable zone. But anyway, we'll give it a try. And I suppose if it turns out so bad, I'll just black gesso it and start again. But yeah, it's really hard for me to do this on camera. Actually, it's hard for me to talk on camera, let alone paint on camera, but we'll see how we go. So last time you saw my little journal cover, actually I don't want to move it around too much because I can't see if I'm in frame or not. Last time you saw my little journal cover, I don't think the netting was black. So I did put a picture of this in our Facebook group and I did put it out there, you know, paint the netting or not to paint the netting, and the opinions were kind of split, but I did decide to paint the netting. Well, gesso the netting, but I'll probably put some colour back into it anyway, so I never really have a plan. I'll just I'll see as I go. So anyway, I originally painted this with black acrylic because at the time I ran out of black gesso, but I do have some black gesso now, so I have given it another coat, also on the cover, and a coat, I hope you can see, I think I'm pointing in the right areas. I'm probably totally out of frame and all you see is my ugly old hands, but anyway, they're all the little bits and bobs. They've been gessoed black. I probably didn't get in under there enough. There's still a little bit of whites and stuff, or the colour of the original metal peeking out, but that's okay. I'll scrunch my brush under there. Anyway, let's get started. So what I normally do, I use one brush for each colour because I tend to dip my brushes into the actual bottles and stuff like that, and I don't like when I contaminate the colours. My brushes are all very old and grungy. They probably need replacing, but I have, like, you know when you have a favourite paintbrush that you just don't want to throw out even though it's dying. And actually this is one of my favourites. I love this brush, but it's so old and dead, and the bristles are starting to fall out a bit, but I just love that brush, and I keep using it. And these two with the red handles, I love these brushes as well. And this one, look, all the bristles are coming out. Hope you can see. Anyway, so I use one brush for each colour, and when I put my paints down, okay, I don't have a proper craft mat. I do have this little green cutting mat that sometimes I dump ink straight onto, but mostly I just use wax paper or baking paper. I don't know what it's called. I think we just call it oven proof paper in Australia. Sometimes I use this if I make my stuff portable. So my room, I don't have a lot of desk space. Well, I do, but it's covered with crap, sewing machines, paints, fabric, half finished projects, you name it. So my actual, well, I have a lot of room, like a lot of desks in my room. I don't have a lot of actual desk space. So sometimes I just put my work on greaseproof paper so I can carry it around and dump it somewhere to dry. Anyway, I also put my paints. I've got an old hardcover book that I use. I've read this book. It was not the greatest. Sorry, Paul Gallico. Anyway, I put my paints down into a book, and then I, you know, when you're finished with it, I just scrunch the paint around the page. Actually, this is a fairly new book. So I put the paint down and brush off the brushes into here when I'm finished. Once the book is full of painted pages, I usually chop them up or use them for something. So, okay, so I'll get started. Okay, I'm probably trying to delay starting. So I'm going to put down a colour, a coat of, well, not a full coat, but I'll start with some berry. And I'm just using a dry brush. Actually, instead of berry, I really wish I had some bright pink. I should have gone and got some, but we'll see how it goes. If I don't like it, I'll just gesso over it. And I just want to do little bits here and there because I want the black to be peeping out. You know, like a kind of shadow from behind. I don't want it totally covered. Actually, I don't know, you may not have seen on Facebook, but I did post a picture showing this and telling a little story of what I did. When I was gluing down all the pieces, there was one piece in my first video when I glued these down. There's one piece, I don't know if you remember seeing this little guy in my little junk box. Anyway, the center of this is mirrored, and when I was watching back my first video, oh my God, what did I see? I was about to post the first video, and what do I see? A reflection of myself the right way up in that little mirror center. That's why I've got my thumb over it. And it was pointing straight at me, and you could see me in the reflection clear as day. And of course it was middle of the night, and what was I wearing? I was in a see-through nightgown with no bra on, no bra on in the middle of the night, and it was very cold, so if you get my gist. Anyway, I was horrified, and I was like, oh my God, I can't even reshoot the video because I've already stuck the pieces down. So then, of course, I don't know how to edit. So I had to figure out how to blur out that little section. And that's why parts 1 and 2 and everything have not been posted yet. Anyway, so yeah, I was just mortified when I saw it. Yeah. I'm not happy with this berry colour. I really want pink because it's brighter and it pops out better. Anyway, I think that's all I might do with the berry. Actually, let's get some in there. Too much. Anyway, so I posted that on Facebook, and yeah, we had a good laugh about it. Okay, I'm just going to put down a little purple pearl. So I know this is probably boring for you, but you can jump ahead if this is killing you. my camera's probably not even recording. I don't like not being able to see what is on camera. Can't see that top bit from where I'm sitting. Okay. Some darker bits around the edges. Too much. Okay, so I might so now I might put some teal. I always use way too much paint. Like put down way too much paint. Just going to use a teeny tiny little brush for this one because I just want little bits poking through. I don't want it to overtake. Did I say overtake? I meant take over. So for this piece, like, I don't want it too bright. I know that sounds silly since I'm using metallic bright paints, but I really want the black to be the predominant colour. Sorry, that crinkling is probably driving you crazy. See, I say I don't want the teal to take over, but then I go heavy-handed on it. Can't help it. I really love the teal. Actually, I want a bit more purple here. Okay, let's see how that's looking. Okay, see, I just had a tissue here, or a wet wipe, and it's disappeared. I don't know how things disappear on my desk. I don't know. I don't know where they go. Stop with the teal. I feel like that berry colour, the purple kind of gets lost with the berry colour. Okay. Okay, now I'm just going to give it a teeny tiny bit of some Venetian gold. I would have liked copper, but my copper is, I don't know, my metallic copper, it's actually a spray on. It's not the same brand. I like this brand the best. The other one is, I don't know, I think it might be a J Burrows, but it's not as bright. It goes on bright, but then when it dries, I don't find it as, you know, kind of vibrant. Okay, this is where I always kill it, when I go in with the golds, because I really love the golds and I always let it then take over. And I don't want to, I just want little hints. I need a smaller brush because I'm going to I know putting my paint down on paper is not probably the smartest thing. It dries into it, but I just find I can wipe off what I want easier.